favorite morning ride over the digital airways. How you guys doing, man? It is kind of getting a little chilly outside. You guys don't understand that? So before we even get into the show, I get into the beautiful Keisa and get into my blessing over here that's going to change my life. Numbness, stay. You know what I'm saying, America? We got to come on down to the Filter Coffee Parlor. We got the Filter Coffee Parlor fall drink specials. Let me tell y'all what we got on the menu. We got pumpkin butternut spice coffee. Come on down. Just y'all check it out. We may check that out on the show today. We got the cinnamon roll. It's a 16 ounce. You may want to check that on out. Then we got a pumpkin spice matcha. What is this? MATCH? Matcha. Okay, y'all need to come on down and check that out. Then also we got the creamy caramel apple cider. Yes. That's kind of good, y'all. Pastor drinking some of that right now. All right, so you guys come on down. And also, they always got that famous apple cider right here at the Filter Coffee Parlor right down here downtown, right next to the International Pancake House, right? And what are you telling me I need to do? Because I'm shaking all over the place. Oh, you want me to show the picture? Oh, I'm gonna put this in the mirror for y'all. But if y'all looking at the camera right there, they go all the specials. You know, I can read in white too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can read. Y'all see it right there. Welcome into the Keisa Joe show, y'all. They got the it's called the Filter Parlor Fall Drink Specials. Yeah, and it's gonna be great. So do it off the show. Y'all gonna see us drinking some of the stuff throughout the winter months. So y'all come on down right here to the Filter Coffee Parlor
and check it out.
Uh-huh.
So normally we do the salted butterscotch, right?
Yeah, that's what I normally do.
So stay tuned. We're gonna try something new.
You guys come with something new?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
so stay tuned. This is a little bit. We normally get same old, which is amazing.
You know something? This is I'm gonna listen, America. I'm going to do this. Pastor, going to go ahead and do this. You know, I'm gonna need your blessings today. I'm gonna go ahead and make you my work wife. Will you marry me? Will you marry me? Go ahead and marry us today, Pastor. You know, she didn't already change my coffee without talking to me, right?
That's a wife. That's a wife.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a wife.
Telling me what I need to do.
That's a wife.
Right? So I'm just saying, America. Any women out there that I'm dating, I'm sorry, but she at work, I belong to her. You know what I'm saying? All right.
If she ever tell you the light is green or which way you going, she's really your wife.
All right, y'all. All jokes aside, welcome into the one and only number one digital airwave morning show. It's the Keisa Joe show. Hanging out with the good pastors in the building today. Yeah. I feel the blessings.
Do you feel the blessing?
But I feel the heat on my side too. You know, the heat. You know, I'm fighting over him. You know, so if I start to shaking and stuff like this, y'all know it's coming to me.
Right. Or either something's being cast.
Right. How you doing this morning, sis?
I'm doing great, bro. You okay? Oh man, y'all.
What's that?
Meeting your children.
Oh, my babies.
Yeah, they were amazing. They were amazing.
Wow.
They were so sweet. And they are my newly adopted nieces.
They have so many aunties and nieces now.
I know they do. They do.
Thank you, number one.
You're welcome.
For coming by.
Yeah.
Before we get into the show, I want to say thank you to Pastor. I want to talk on this, and maybe you can help us out, talk a little bit more in the show today. People always say, where's the village? Right? The village is way alive. The village is here. The village is in Birmingham, Alabama. I witnessed the love of a village that never met my kids that came across the water from Japan. They heard me talk about them for 10, 15 years. My daughters that never came here. My youngest daughter, I never saw her in person for 22 years. Her birthday was September the 5th. When I saw her last week coming down the escalators at the airport was the first time I saw her in person. Wow. With my oldest daughter, which is 31. Came from Japan, 22-hour flight. Quick synopsis, I'm not going to run down the whole thing, but when I told my friends that I've been friends with over the years that they were coming, everybody broke their schedule, made their schedule, and made time to either come to the house, come pick them up, take them out, took headshots, took them on bus rides. I mean, they came in and, man, literally they wrapped their arms around my daughters of kids that they never met. So when I say the village is alive and thumping, man, I got to say thank you to everybody in Birmingham, Alabama, who accepted my kids, who loved my kids, right? Because when they saw everything, they're like, Papa, who the hell are you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What is this? They've never seen nothing like this outpour of people they never met before. They're not family, but now they're family. Sure. They got their social media. They got everybody's telephone numbers. They sending pictures, and everybody just calling and checking on them, make sure before they left. I mean, it was about a good 20 to 30 people that actually just came through, like for my daughters, right? And this was not blood family. This was just the community of
Yeah.
Birmingham, Alabama. When I say we got one of the best cities in the world,
Oh,
and I got some of the best friends in the world, and I love y'all, man. If I could give everybody, I'm gonna give y'all a virtual hug this morning. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say thank you. Because I ain't gonna lie, nephew said, you gonna cry when they leave. I choked up, bro. I did. You know, a tear did drop. A tear did drop, bro. Then I went into the house where the rooms were, right? And they was gone. And here's the crazy thing. I'm gonna close it here, y'all. I went into their rooms, right? And you know, just in the houses, because the house is now it's back to a house, it's not a home anymore because they're gone. And I'm walking around, right? You know, just sitting there, and there's a letter on the bed next to on the nightstand to me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was more than one tear after that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
somebody was cutting onions.
And
You
then
guys
I
just
walked into the
went
next
out.
room,
Right.
and then there's another letter
Oh.
from my other daughter,
Wow.
right? And I'm like, okay. And then at the bottom it says, up, and you read it upside down, and there's a little smile face. Are you crying yet?
Oh.
Yeah,
You,
I was.
Oh.
you ugly cried.
No,
You
I
did
didn't
it.
ugly cry, but I
You did
choked.
that.
Huh?
You did.
Yeah, I did that. I did that one. I did that one. I did that one. I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're, let me just say though, they're sweethearts. Like I try to I meet a lot of people and I try to be hard and strong and all that kind of stuff. And like, oh, okay, I'm gonna meet them and go in, you know, have a good time.
Right.
And I went there and I was just there are things that God just connects.
Mhm.
And I just felt a connection with them. Not trying to be anything other than who I am. They weren't trying to be anything other than who they were, but
Right.
just genuine love. I'm talking about a humanity.
Yes.
A genuine love. And
Yes.
and so like I just said, I just love them. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet them. I know a lot of different people kind of came through and
Yes.
showed love or whatever, but
Yes.
I was just glad. So thank you even for opening the door and considering me family to come in and be able to share. In
Yeah,
that.
it was I would never forget it.
Yeah, I bet you won't.
I can't recreate the moment,
Sure.
Yeah.
but I'll never forget it. So thank y'all.
Yeah. I think what's cool about that is you created, we talked about the village being there. You created a village before they got here.
Yes.
So
Mm.
it's not that they got here now. Let me try to find some good people.
Yes.
I think as a parent, it's critical for us to create healthy environments
Mm.
before we have sons and daughters. So when they come in, we've already refined our friend group. We've already we've created a network of people that will add value, that will push us, encourage us, so we can trust our sons and daughters with this environment.
Yes.
So I think it's I applaud the fact that you built a healthy network that your daughters are getting the benefit of, and you didn't do it for them.
No.
You brought them into it. That was already set up. So
Pastor, I'm gonna say, man, it was definitely a blessing because, like you said, you know, Denise, one of our other friends, she came by and picked them up, right?
Yeah.
Because she came by on Monday and she like, I'm going to pick my babies up. There, like everybody started calling my daughters their babies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she came by and she picked them up, and I'm standing on the porch, right? And I'm watching. She like, look at you looking like a dad and watching your daughters put off, right?
Yeah.
And I had to think about it. I'm like, yeah, I am, because I've never, when they were teenagers, I didn't get a chance to do none of this stuff, right? But I'm actually watching my daughters get into the car with somebody that I trust.
Yeah.
That's not blood, but she's like my sister, right?
Sure.
And so I didn't even worry, you know, saying she took them out shopping and all of the good stuff. But you know, when I say, man, I tell, and this is what I say to all the fathers I do on the show today, here on the Keisa Joe show, right here at the Filter Coffee Parlor. Fellas, if you're not in your kid's life, it took me 22 years to see my daughter, right? And I screwed up, right? It was on me. And I accepted it, and I was told that. But what I have to say is I got one of the best baby mamas in the world because they never felt I was gone, right? And sometimes, y'all, and my daughters told me, it was never about not the time. They just wanted to know that I still love them. And when they came here and they saw the pictures, they saw the people, they saw all the little small things of that I was still, that even though they wasn't there, I was thinking about them.
Mhm.
They said they felt, she said, I felt all of that, Papa. I knew.
Wow.
Right. So, fellas, I'm going to tell you, man, if you got a kid out there and you're wondering, you beat yourself up for 22 years like I did. On your business, bro. On your business.
Wow.
You about to cry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the whole back, man. Got the whole back.
Yeah. But Pastor, you know, even though he now he and I fight.
Uh-huh.
Let's be real. We fight.
Yeah, I watch it.
Not
I like
bad.
it.
Yeah.
I watch it.
Not bad, but we can whatever. But
Right.
one thing about him is when he's really like, if you're a part of his family,
Mhm.
if he can help you, he's gonna help you.
Right.
So it's just what you said.
Mhm.
All of us coming through and wanting to support him. It was like, man, this guy when he brings you in, it's like your family. What can I do for you?
Mhm.
So that's we're just giving that love back to
Thank you.
Sabrina and Selena.
Selena, yes.
I couldn't think of her name yesterday, the other one, but yeah, we were just giving the love back to them. So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. We got into our first fight before she left too last night.
Which one?
Really?
The oldest one. Me and her got into a fight last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the sweetest one.
Yeah. But she come on in, Jeremy. Hey, come on in. Now, so what's this we have, Jeremy?
Oh,
Okay.
and look how it's
Okay.
fall menu.
Okay,
We
so
already
the-
told them about the fall menu, by the way.
So it's the pumpkin butternut spice, y'all.
Oh my gosh,
And this
look
is the
how
this
cute.
is a cookie. So y'all come on down to Filter Coffee Parlor right now. And I'm finna let y'all know how this tastes.
Right on the spot.
Y'all come on down to Filter Coffee Parlor and get your butter. Come on and ask for it and tell me your boy Joe like I sent you, right? They're gonna be open all day long. It's called a pumpkin butter spice. Okay. I'm just gonna call it the JL special. You know what I'm saying? But y'all come on down here and get this pumpkin butter spice. It's really good though.
Oh,
Thank you,
my
Jeremy, so
goodness.
much. Right here at Filter Coffee Parlor.
Love it.
Yes.
So you know what?
Yes.
Without further ado, unless you want to add something, I want to get to our guest today. I am. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
We gotta talk about news. We ain't worried about he ain't going nowhere. We're gonna talk about him. It's gonna be good. We got he got so much to talk about. Once we get on him, we ain't gonna never get off the pastor. But he's in the building.
What? Yes.
Pastor, we call him Pastor Doug.
Yeah.
He's in the building, been knowing him for years, man. He's always been a
Yes.
great supporter every time I've ever seen him.
Yes.
Always has opened up his arm to me. Always been nice. Constantly invite me to his church. Still ain't been there, but yeah, I'm gonna walk through the doors one day, Pastor. I promise you.
I'm still praying for him, Pastor. No
Lovely
that.
family, but he's
No
in
that.
the building.
Yes.
But we got some news we need to get into.
I'm listening. Come on.
So, what do you think about the presidential race so far?
Oh, you would ask me that.
That means Keisa Joe show. That's what we do.
I'll say this because I'm a PR person.
Right.
Let me just say, may the best candidate win.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people it is so sad that we're at a place now where we have to even doubt. When I looked at the President Trump, the shooting or assassination attempt or whatever you want to call it, a shooting, it's really kind of unfortunate that some people that we have to question whether or not it's really
real or not.
Yeah,
it's questions.
There are questions out there. That's unfortunate. I will say, there really is no doubt. I mean, the candidate that I'm going to support, there is no doubt there. And the only thing I will say, people have a right to vote for whom they vote for. The only thing that I look at, though, in me making a decision is leadership. We're at a critical time, I believe. And a leader, I believe, influences and works to, in my hopes and in my thoughts, unify a country, works to unify us, works to bring us together and move us forward, regardless of what ethnicity you are.
Right.
We need to move forward. And at the end of the day, we all bleed red, and we're all human, and it's the human factor. So those are my generalities, and that's my PR spill. But I have a feeling you have something you want to say.
No, I got Pastor in the building today, so I'm gonna be nice. No, but I'm
No, you're not.
I'm not. No, I'm leaning towards where you are with it. My biggest thing is why I brought up is everybody need to vote.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody, I don't convince you to vote one way or the other, but this is a great time, parents, for you to talk to your kids and show them, the differences in two stark different type candidates, whichever side of the fence you're on, right? There's a woman, there's a man, there's a Republican, there's a Democrat. They both have different leadership styles, right? Talk to your kids about this process and let them know how important it is to vote, because there was a time we couldn't vote, right? And so I think, for me, it's most important that we get involved in the process, because just don't get caught up on the presidential race. The president can't do nothing without Congress.
Yes.
So that's where the meat and butter is. So people keep talking about the two top people. That's cool, but to make the bills and make it work, right? To change laws, that's Congress, that's us. So we need you to show up and make sure you vote for the senators and make sure you vote for the House of Representatives. That's what we need, because if y'all understand how bills are made, right? Y'all remember a bill is only a bill until they go to Capitol Hill, right? That's how bills are actually made, put into law. Without that, you only got an executive order from a president, which is a band-aid on something that he made a promise to, and the next person can come in and take it away 4 years later, right? So explain that process to your kids, right? That when you say your vote doesn't count, It may not count towards the electoral part of it, but it does count towards the bills that are being made across the country, because there is a House of Representatives, there is a senator coming from your state that's going to go to Washington, D.C. and vote on a bill that's going to affect you and your family each and every day, whatever side of the fence you on. So don't say your vote don't count, because that's a lie. That's what I need to tell everybody, right? So I'm not in Pennsylvania. I'm not here. I don't about to give a damn about that, right? I'm just sorry, Pastor, but yeah, they don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest, right? Make sure if you don't understand, you educate yourself, then educate your kids, because this is what we need to understand going forward in this country. Whether you're black, white, Asian, or Latino, how does the process actually work in this country that's going to affect us? We get caught up on two people, and we get caught up into the fights, what's actually going on. But the people that's actually making the change is the people that you keep leaving in office. That's all I got to say. I'm gonna leave it right there.
No,
I could go a little bit more, but I think that's enough.
What you said, I think that's really, really good. And I was just gonna say about the process. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody is caught up in the personalities. But I want to echo what you said. Educate yourself. Educate your children. I will also echo. Nephew made me think about this yesterday when we were on the show for you in your absence yesterday. You know, we're talking. We're doing a lot of talking. There's a lot of rhetoric, but people are not reading. Are you reading? Are you sitting down and are you investigating? Are you reading what Donald Trump's agenda is? Are you reading about Kamala Harris's agenda? That's the most important thing, and you can make your own decision from there. So educate yourself, and I think that's where my passion comes in, because we can talk personality. Do I like this person or that person? But how does their agenda align with your future and what happens for the future of you and your children? So I think that's a great point. And obviously, I see your passion. I try to kind of stay out of those political waters on air, and that's just from my background. Right. They really in television, it's like you really don't go there, but in radio,
that was my job.
That's what you do.
I was a political radio talk show analyst for 10 years. So that's what I did.
So I'm navigating, and I'm learning. I can step in those waters now, and I don't have to.
You ain't got to dig into people to try to if you don't in this media space, I can come in and go viral tomorrow by saying something about either candidate. But after the election race is over, what is that going to do for our show? What's it going to do for my brand? Right. So my goal is I'd rather stay in the middle and bring people together. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? As the race gets closer, bring a Trump supporter and a Vice President Harris supporter on the show, and let's talk about it. Because I want people to know that we can have the civil conversations without denigrating each other, right?
That part.
That's what's my goal is. It may not be the popular thing, may not be the viral thing, but when people go back and look at my clips, right, they're gonna, in our clips of what we do, they're gonna see that this show is about substance.
Yes.
Right. Yes. It's about something that stands for something.
Yes.
Right. I'm just not going by the flavor of the day. When God says it's time for me to go viral, we'll go viral. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm cool with that. Yeah. But as He put this in me, I'm gonna build a house of bricks. Not one that's a tall straw house and then something, as soon as it's over, it blows down. That. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing right here on the Keisa Joe Show. Also, last question in the news.
Yeah.
1,000 bottles of lubricant. He's locked up.
Someone have planted that
AKs, taken. He was denied bail. Even though he put up a lot of money, had a lot of stuff going, he was denied bail. So if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, no Diddy, I mean it literally, right? P. Diddy is got arrested the other day, and he has been denied bail so far in a lot of charges and RICO charges that's going up against him right now. So sis, to that point, I know you heard a little bit about it. Your thoughts?
As both Joe and Pastor sip, they're waiting like, let's see. The accusations, the video was probably what leveled him. We'd heard the accusations for years.
Right.
We knew there was something sketchy there for years. The video probably took him down through there. I mean, just took him down after that. It's unfortunate, but if you're guilty, you're going to pay the price. And I wish some of these celebrities were a little bit smarter because sometimes they think because of their money, they think that their money insulates them or their
Right.
popularity. And let's look at the case of R. Kelly.
Same thing, right?
R. Kelly had all these people warning him, all these people saying, Robert, be careful, you shouldn't do this. And then, but they always have a sect of people around them who do not correct.
Right.
Okay. They really kind of acquiesce to, oh yeah, man, you're all right, you're good. So my heart, it's the empathetic person in me. I feel terribly sorry for him. I feel terribly sorry for his daughters. I think about his children. I think about his sons, and I think about all the people who are gonna fall as a result. I think about all the other artists who are going to be connected to this. But here's the deal: black, white, blue, brown, yellow. When you're in that position, great. And Pastor, I'm thinking of a scripture right now. Oh, to whom much is given, much is required.
Sure.
You're a billionaire. Can you not find something else to get into other than the things that you're doing as a big? I mean, it's like, can you not pay for counseling I know I got this issue. This could cost me later on. That's the most frustrating thing, I think, Joe, is to have all this money, have all this influence, and to allow these habits to derail you when he is a cultural icon.
I think for me, grown folks do what grown folks do, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, bro, you got so much money. Can you just find the people that want to do what you want to do and be done with it? You know what I'm saying? Go buy your island, bro. You know what I'm saying? And everybody comes there and what they want to go do, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? But the way it seemed like he was doing it, his thrill, his kick, his fetish was getting you to go against your will and then doing this all stuff allegedly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's more to come out soon. But yeah, if you guys haven't heard, P. Diddy is locked up and no Diddy. Bruh, you're gonna get what you received at this point. I'm just saying what you said. Too much is given. What you said? What was the thing you said?
To whom much is given, much is required.
Much is gonna be required of you, Diddy. They took all your lube, bro. That's all. Bruh. So be careful, big dog.
It is sad though. Yeah. Our kids idolize these guys. These are celebrities in our culture. Can we not keep hearing this story? It's like you get set up. This guy's a billionaire. How many of us are going to reach that status?
I know Pastor going to hit on this. We got to stop idolizing people.
We do.
We got to stop putting people, in a position where we looking at them like they can't do no wrong. Human beings are human. You know what I mean? I'm not a Bible thumper. I don't know no verses, but I'm gonna say this at one thing. A human being will always disappoint you. At some point he will. Right. And like I said, I can't quote Bible scriptures, but one thing I can say, God works and he's never let me down.
Yeah.
And I go back to what I said earlier as we get ready to move on with the show. It took me 22 years, right? But that was in God's time. And then when them 22 years happened, right, everything fell into place. Every single thing worked out like butter. But it took 22 years to get there. You know what I mean?
And that's timing and not ours, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me ask you this, but about it, and this is sort of a lesson, okay? Because as a woman, I'm looking at it as a woman, and maybe you and Pastor can help me out with this. In my mind, what is it? The question I have is, what is it as a man that he never saw or never heeded the red flags or the warnings? Undoubtedly, there had to be some point where it was like, Puffy, you doing too much, man, or you had some heat on him. So as a man, what is that doesn't heed that, or that just continues to push the envelope in that arena?
I'm gonna say ego.
Okay.
I think it's ego.
Okay.
And money, right?
Yeah.
Is what messed him up, because once you're able to find that you can buy your way out of things, most people with money is not going to put other people with money around them. They're going to put people around them who want money. So greed. So he fed off of greed. People fed off of him, and he understood their greed. I got enough money to feed you to do whatever I need you to go do and be quiet about it, right? So you never put people at the same caliber of you around you if you don't want to have nobody to listen to. You get rid of those people. And I believe that's what he had around him. He had the platform. He had the ability to make you famous. He had the ability to give you a house. He had the ability to pay your loans off as long as, right? And once people understood what they had to do to get what he had, and he understood what the power that he had, he used it in the wrong way, in my humble opinion. Pastor, your thoughts?
No, I think that influence is addictive. One of the I think one of the biggest challenges any person with influence needs is people around that will hold them accountable and will be honest with them. There's an old story of a young man that had become king. Once he had become king, he hired his best friend, and as he would walk throughout the kingdom, and all of the subjects would bow and they would celebrate, the job of his friend was to whisper in his ear, "You're still just a man."
Wow.
And I think that's what's missing a lot of times when people get positioned. We don't have a circle that says, "Yeah, you did a great job on Sunday, but you're still just a man." I think one of the things that happens is, again, influence can become addictive. Accolades can become addictive. And many times I've seen it in business and ministry and in any kind of industry. People shy away from the people that, when you get addicted to being praised, you run away from people that treat you average. You know, I've been seeing pastors all my life that on Sunday, you can't, I mean, you're the guy. I mean, you laugh and you smile, you're praying, all the kids love you. You know, but when you come home, your wife just sees you as that dude that left your drawers on the floor. Hey, can you take that trash? And if you're not balanced, and I think you need that, still be esteemed at home, but still understand, you know, this cape comes off. You know, and I think without that, we can many times get off balance. And here's the crazy thing. It's relative. You don't have to be a billionaire to believe that you're better than people.
That's good.
So it happens at every level. But we only see P. Diddy's crisis because of who he is. But there are hundreds of people that we pass by today who do the same thing at their level in their homes. Dishonoring people, taking advantage of people that need them. And so I think it's a human crisis. You know, it's the depravity of man. You know, not just a cultural icon.
Not just PD. So this is good discussion. Thank you for leading into him, because I wanted your opinion, or you to talk us through something. So as we're thank you, because I have okay. So you know, Joe said, he said, well, people will disappoint you. We can't 100% agree with that. I'm not arguing that point at all. I agree with you. So you know, who's saying, well, we can't put people on pedestals. So my question, I agree with that 100%. My question is, if I'm the person who I know people are looking up to, if I'm, and I can't be in the mind of P. Diddy, you can. Isn't there, because you experience that too, because you're a local pastor. There are people who look up to you. At some point, do you say, people are going to look up to me? I'm not no better than anyone, but people are going to look up to me, so that my behavior should be different.
Oh, absolutely, 1,000%. You said that, well, to whom much is given, much is required. One of the things that I pray always helps me stay balanced is, no matter where I end up, to acknowledge that I never got here by myself. It was the favor of God. It was people that cared about me. And that's why, so I can't speak for anybody else, but I intentionally make efforts to acknowledge people that have helped me along the way, to remind myself I'm not a self-made man. There's no such thing as a self-made man. The wise man knows who to pick to help make him.
Come on now.
And so the key about this is, and so I think it's healthy to always make intentional efforts to honor those that have helped you, celebrate those, and really deflect praise. That's the real thing. I learned early on, young in ministry, when people would come up, and an old preacher told me, I preached, and somebody came up and they said, "Oh man, good job, great sermon." And preacher said, "Thank you." He was like, "Don't ever do that." He said, because when somebody celebrates what you did, you say, "Praise God." Otherwise, you think you came up with that sermon, or you came up with that scripture. He's like, always deflect the glory to God.
That's good.
But somebody has to tell you that. And, so, and the other thing too is, I think one of the tragedies in this generation is people become famous over foolish stuff. You know, all you need now is a webcam. All you need is, high-speed internet. And you can become viral with no character, no morals, no integrity. Years back, we really used to esteem leaders that had character. The Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, the Shuttlesworth, because they were examples of integrity, and they were they were famous, as it were, for good works. Now people are famous for dumb stuff. And that influence that influence just translates to a larger audience based on the product that you're giving us. So I think that's one of the regrets. It's one of the dangers, which is why we need conversations like you guys are having about being integrous, having accountability, recognizing our vulnerability so we don't take these things for granted and hurt people along the way.
So let me give you your props. Pass. You no matter you are very well entwined with the movement of the city, and we're going to talk about some of the things that Rebirth has going. Shout out to Pastor Doug. Shout out to Pastor Shay as well, his wife, sorority sister.
Girl.
Say what now?
That's my girl.
That's my girl too. But let me shout out to you. Shout out to her, because whenever the invite is given to you, you come.
Mm-hmm.
You always support whatever platforms. I mean, and this guy, now look, he's gonna trip out when he hears me talk like this. But this guy is connected, like he's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in there. He does. But the thing I like about him and what you do with Shay is you can hang with anybody, but you never forget. You never forget. You never look at the opportunity to be like, okay, I'm bigger than that. I can't do. That's respected and it's appreciated. And that's why your influence will be is so great. And that's why the support, you have support in places you don't even know.
Wow.
Because you're approachable.
Wow.
And you don't and humble. You don't. We saw him 2 weeks ago. Say, hey, we want you to come on. He came in here. He said, okay, I'll be on. He held to his word. He came back. Hey, Pastor, can you do something? Nope, but I can do this. And you're here. That means a lot. And so that people can go around and say, I'm pastor, I'm this, I hear from God. People are not really always watching that. They're watching what you do and your actions. So that's why we support you. And speaking of support, you have some big things going on.
Oh my
Y'all
Lord!
already have a huge campus.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just let you slide on in there. Come on, Pastor.
No. Before you even get into that, I want everybody to know.
Bro.
I want everybody to know how many years he been pastoring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many?
23 years this year.
How long he been married?
29 years.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You started. It was 20 years. When you get in them 20s, man, you're doing something, especially when you're a pastor and married at the same time. Let me tell you something, y'all. He's that guy. But if y'all guys just locking in right now, we at the Filter Coffee Parlor right here downtown. And I hate when other men come on that sound better than me and look better than me. But
well, I
and
can't
then
do nothing about that, dog.
you know what I mean.
You
And
gotta blame the Lord for making me.
you know what I mean. And, but I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying. But so I have to sit here and try tighten up my vest a little bit. You know what I'm saying. I gotta try to. You know what I'm saying.
Jealous about that vest.
You know what I'm saying. I got to try to tighten my shirt up a little bit because I got the pastor in the building. But man, it is an honor to have him on the Keisa Joe show right here at the Filter Coffee Parlor this morning. He got some big things going on. Is it Rebirth? Rebirth. Okay, so before we get into the big things that's happening at Rebirth, Sundays, Wednesdays, because I know that's Bible study. I do know that, Pastor. See, I know, but so let us know the schedule, what we got going on at Rebirth.
Oh man, outstanding. First off, thank you for the invite. I haven't thanked you guys yet. Thank you so much for letting me be here, sharing your platform and influence. So our church, Rebirth Christian Fellowship, we do a service at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock in person. 723rd Avenue Northwest.
Okay.
For now.
One of the things we say about our church is this church will change your life. I really believe it will. I tell people all the time, even if I wasn't a pastor, I would be a member of our church. Not because it's me, but I believe in what we do and the way we do it. Whole focus of our church is three things. I'm a three-trick pony: help people grow in their faith, their families, and their finances. Those three things, every service is what people are going to get, because I believe faith is critical, because every person at some point is going to come into contact with the issue that only the power of God can solve. Doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter who you are. In times of crisis, my faith is what caused me to overcome. Family is everything. You shared today about the impact of your family. One of the devotional we're doing right now is even talking about success is hollow without a successor. You know, and so part of what family does is, and I'm just so grateful and shout out to my family that I get the privilege of sharing the things I love with my family. My wife Shay, my son Miles, my daughter Jalen, and they're all involved. And so because I believe that mission and assignment transfers through generational bloodlines.
Come on now.
I believe that with all my heart.
Come on now.
Aaron's sons never had to wonder what the job was going to be. You're going to be priests. You know, that's where the Levites came from. I believe one of the things, and you didn't ask this, but I believe one of the things that causes people to miss out on fulfillment and purpose is they shy away from their family's purpose. Because there are things that our parents were called to do that they may not have had the intelligence, the opportunity, the platform, and that grace, that assignment rests on us. You look at all these different cultures that, you know, such and such and sons, such and such and sons. You know, and many times people will shy away, want to blaze their own trail or be a self-made man and don't realize, you know, I'm going to operate in submission to somebody else's mission, but also understand that this is the platform, so I don't start from scratch.
Wow.
So I believe family is important. And when the devil can't get you, he'll attack your family.
Yes, he will.
And the third thing is we help people build their finances. I believe that finances is when finances are not in order, people will do dumb things. Depravity comes when people are desperate, and I've seen and experienced so many tragedies and, you know, mishaps and failures simply because people did not have adequate finance or adequate information about finance. And so we do a lot of things to help people grow in those three areas. I mean, everything we do, faith, family, and finance is what we do. And Wednesday night we're doing online. We're still doing. We started Wednesday night online during COVID.
Yeah.
Well, everything was online during COVID, but we just kept it online.
Kept it online for Wednesday nights.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
gonna
good.
have to. I'm gonna have to.
I see. That may be a church I can get to now.
Look,
yeah,
You can get to that one.
I can get to that one. I can get to that one.
I'm
You know what I mean?
Slipping.
Yeah.
So how long are you in this current sanctuary?
All right, this is a big stuff. So we actually closed on our new sanctuary in New campus.
We need some cheers going on. We need some applause, right? Give me some applause. You know, we upgraded our budget just for you. So we're gonna have applause here for you.
Of the huge campus that they are moving to.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. 110,000 square feet, dozens of classrooms, 4 tennis courts, full gym, full school. It's just, I'm really excited, not just for what we'll be able to do to minister to people on Sundays and services, but it's really going to be a community hub.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
I heard you said tennis courts, gyms, and classrooms. That just ain't a sanctuary with some collection plates.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, crazy thing is, even part of what we're doing with Rebirth. My son even had put all that together. So
Can I say I love your son?
everybody loves my son.
Can I say I love his smile, I love Miles. Now that's Shay's twin.
It's Shay's twin.
It's Shay's twin,
Well,
but I love Miles.
I told her, I don't have a problem if he looks like you.
Yeah.
As long as he thinks like me.
That's okay.
So
come on now.
I win.
The
I win.
best of both.
The best of both.
There you go.
No,
Yeah.
He's an incredible young man. I mean,
Love
my entire
Miles.
family, my son, my daughter, and my wife. I'm really
I just
proud of my
haven't
son.
met your daughter.
Well, I'm really proud of him because he took a job in Orlando last year.
Wow.
And came back home in February, and he's been working at church and working at our nonprofit and just doing a stellar job. And again, I'm just grateful to be in a position that I can offer some opportunities,
Yes.
generate income for my family, and be able to do it together. So he's doing a
That's
stellar
beautiful.
job. People when they meet him, they say, "We like you, but we love him."
See,
Yeah.
I met him. I just hadn't met your daughter. I've seen her ministering in worship and everything. I just have not had a chance to meet face to face. I met him because I attended an event and had product there with Lady Shay, Pastor Shay, and he was helping. Hey, I was like,
he's a much better version of me. I'm still urban. You know, I got a bunch of, I got some ghetto flair in me. He's a much more refined version of me.
But
He's
that's
likable.
That's the beautiful thing, though. That's the beautiful thing about it. As I'm thinking about his daughters, I'm thinking about your children as well. your children are just a different, they're an extension of you. I think about even me and my mother. I'm just a different extension. And like you said, even if the parents were to get that, some parents don't have that, Pastor, that they understand that the children are tasked with carrying on. The way I smile, I never meet a stranger. I love people. I am my mother's daughter. If you see her, people, it's like she has the people who are around her. God just did it in a different way for me.
Sure.
You understand, being the broadcaster, being the TV personality. God's gifted all of us differently. So like you're saying with your son, you have a certain flavor. He has a flavor.
Sure.
But it's on him.
Absolutely. But one of the, I've been parenting 27 years now. One of the things I tell people all the time is, as a parent, by the time you find out what to do, you've probably already done it wrong. That the Bible is a manual, but the Bible doesn't say tell Rebecca to clean up her room, and it gives us principles, and we still have to live this out. Sometimes we do it in error, and so I tell parents all the time, my prayer is that number one, that we can be humble enough to acknowledge to our sons and daughters that we've made a mistake and get better. Here's one of the craziest mistakes of people. That one of the things happen with parents. Many times we parent our sons and daughters.
You're never wrong.
Problems that they'll never face. So just think about it. We train them to many times live out our deficiencies when there are areas of life that they'll never experience. Like, it's critical. Okay, I need to teach my son to change a tire, right? Yeah. Well, but in this generation, before he changes a tire, he's probably going to call AAA. And so we're trying to parent our sons and daughters for a generation they'll never live in.
That's interesting.
And so I think if the value is trying to have, like, when my son and daughter start working in the church, I have to understand, number one, recognize that they're both adults. Yeah. So if you notice, I never call them my children. Yeah. I trained myself years ago to call them my son and daughter. Yeah. Because they're not children. Yeah. They'll be my son and daughter forever, but they're only children until they're 18.
That's right.
And so I started training myself. No, this is my son and daughter, not my kids, because they're not kids, not my children, they're not children. So I could acknowledge the adults that they were, and have some different kind of conversation. No, I'm not. This is just me.
That's you, right?
But I think what happens there is, it helps me recognize their autonomy and their independence, also their value. Right. And so I started working with them, and I said, all right, I know what I want. I know the end result. I told my son, I said, you're smarter than me because you have more information. You learn things at 20 I didn't learn until I was 40. I said, you're smarter than me because of your information. I'm wiser because of my experiences.
Okay.
I said, and so what happens is, if I can marry my experience with your information, we can both get where we want to be quicker.
That's good.
So where we're from, if we need to, get water, get some water to an event, we're going to go by Walmart, put it in the cart, take it over there. Well, I tell him, he's going to Instacart.
And let Instacart deliver it.
And the thing about it is, I have to determine as a parent, am I going to argue about the way he did it, or celebrate the fact that he got it done?
Celebrate the fact he got it done.
And that's not always easy.
Yeah, that's very true. You've been parenting for 20 years. I've been parenting for 8 days. I get it.
No, you've been parenting 22 years.
Yeah, but if you
weren't parenting, they wouldn't come to see you.
Very true. Very, very true. Very true. But what you're saying, I get. Because I have to look at, like you said, I always say my daughters. I never say kids. I always say my daughters. But when I look at them, I know what I felt when I was them. And so I don't want them to feel what I felt. I just want, like I told them, no more secrets. That's one thing big for me in my family, is there's so many secrets. People lying about what this is and what that was and who did what, whatever. I told them I'm an open book. And this is one thing I thank God for. I was able to sit down at the table with my daughters and be an open book.
Wow.
About my good, my bad, and my ugly. And I told them the truth about everything. Why I wasn't there for the mom, the selfishness that I did. I told them everything. Right. And my daughters told me, okay, no more secrets, Dad. If you want to know anything about me, I'll tell you too.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So it was nothing I wanted to know, But when I was sitting there and I told them, and they started connecting dots from what their mom had said, and then what I said, it just opened up a whole, a whole new, it's a whole new world for us, right? And I told myself, when we sit down at this table, I said, this is us.
Mhm.
This is what we do, right? I said, if there's something bad, we're gonna talk about it,
Mhm.
right? And I think I kind of alluded to a little while ago that, and before I allude to anything else, y'all know this portion of the show is brought to you by Fifth Coffee Parlor, right? And also, it's brought to you by Fisher Chiropractor, also, and also Shea Butter.
All Shea Naturals.
All Shea Natural. So y'all make sure y'all stay locked in right here at the Fifth Coffee Party, Keisa Joe show. But one thing, my daughter and I, we got into a small argument with my oldest daughter, and she was mad because basically, long story is, I went live and she was in the kitchen cooking, and she didn't like it, right? And she was like, "You said it's our house, but I'm here trying to concentrate, and I'm trying to cook you a Japanese meal, and I'm trying to make it ready. You sitting here got me trying to talk to people." So she was mad, right? I said, "Okay, get mad." Right. So she was going on in her thing. So I seen what she was the first time around, but I seen that she was really mad. Right. So I said, "Okay, my doors," and I just played it off. My doors kicked me out the kitchen, and went and sat in the living room and the dining room and talked about it. Right. Then it was all over. Me and her got into it at the table. My youngest daughter sitting there like, "Dad, y'all stop." I was like, "No, we're not gonna stop," because I'm laughing. And like I told him, I said, I see your mother in you, but I see you. But I said, listen, bring it, right? I am you, you are me. I said, but what I want you to understand right now is I can't get mad at you, right? Because everything you're saying is out of love. And everything I was feeling was out of love. But I said, but we got to learn as a family, we're not going to do what they did before.
Sure.
Right. I said, what we're going to do is understand that there has to be a compromise.
Absolutely.
Right. I said that there should never be any more anger between you. I say, if you have anger, it's because of something I did before. It's not because of this.
Sure.
It wasn't because of that moment. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This is something you want to come at me for. And I got shoulders, I take it. But I told her, I said, I'm gonna laugh. And it's gonna make you mad as hell, but I'm gonna laugh, right? Because I told him, I said, if I ever raise my voice or if I ever say anything to you, it's always out of love.
Sure.
Right. And the whole room, everything just tears started flying everywhere, right? Because now they understood that we don't argue.
Right.
We talk.
Sure.
We disagree, right? But if we got to have that tough conversation, we're not going to shy away from it.
Right.
And then you and your sister go in the room and talk about me, and I said, call somebody and talk about you.
Right.
No, I told myself, we're going to finish this right here.
No, that's great.
Right. We're going to finish it. We're going to talk about it. And do the whole thing. Then we was talking, I kept saying, I do love you though. I'm laughing, right? She getting mad about it, but I love you. Sure. I said, but I'm laughing to let you know that I'm not mad. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at us. Because I said, I told him, this is a legacy that we're building. And I said, I want you to take this tactic from me that you can't get mad with the person that loves you. Anybody get that? You can't get mad with the person that loves you. You can disagree and don't like what they say.
Sure.
So that means at some point you got to find a compromise because the person, whatever they're saying, they love you. They're not trying to hurt you.
Right.
Like I told him, I said, what I'm saying to you, I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm not changing.
Sure.
But what I don't need you to change. Now, did I do something right there, Pastor?
No, I think that's extremely important. You said compromise. It takes both of us compromise, but one of the most important things is you guys made a commitment to communicate about it.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I saw growing up is many times parents didn't teach us conflict resolution skills.
That's right.
And again, that's how generations change.
Yeah.
When we grew up, the answer to a lot of things was because I said so.
That's it.
And it taught us to respect our elders.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Which is critical. But what it also did is it stole the power of clarity and understanding. Like, help me understand why.
Thank you.
Because without giving you the why, like I talk to parents all the time and they talk about how to correct their children. They doing. I said, well, stop telling them what to do and tell them why they should do it.
That's good.
If you leave this food and you're gonna have ants, you're gonna have roaches. You should clean up because they don't understand why it matters.
Yeah.
And as a communicator, as a leader, it's my job to help people understand why what I'm asking you to do is a journey worth taking.
That's good.
But to your point, man, just being able to communicate and being humble enough to say, I hear you.
Yeah.
It is stellar that I think every parent should make a commitment to do. I heard a parent say years ago, I've heard it a million times, where her parents may come and said, I'll never do anything to embarrass you. And it was in my family. Her parents said, I'll never do anything to embarrass you. I say, you can't guarantee me that. because you don't know what would embarrass me. You know what would embarrass you. And the thing is, until you ask me what matters to me, until you ask me what bothers me, you really don't know. And you're doing a great job preparing a product that I don't want.
Right. That's good.
I asked my son when he was about 16 or 17, I was going through, hopefully as a parent, I've gone through multiple iterations. I've tried to stay on a journey of self-improvement. And one of the things about me, I'm pretty self-aware of myself. I know my flaws. I know when I'm off. I know what I do. And so I'm honest with myself about my imperfections and honest enough about them, but then always trying to improve them. And I'll come back and say, hey, I was wrong right here. I blew it. Here's an area that in my parenting or in my leadership and my pastoring, this was my approach. And I thought it was right at the time. I was going to say this earlier. One of the things I pray that our sons and daughters know is, even though I made a mistake, it was a mistake made in love.
That part.
I'm going to make a mistake.
That part.
But just know, and hopefully as they mature, they can see Dad wasn't perfect, but I never doubt that he loved me.
That part.
And when I can come back and acknowledge that, I believe it sets the tone. Yes, ma'am.
Can we stay right there? Now,
yes, ma'am.
Now we showed your church, because I don't want to miss the moment with that. We showed the church while you were talking,
ma'am.
The huge expansive building. We're going to get back to that, but we're going to get back to that. We're going to talk about Safe House as well before you get out here, because there are wonderful things going on with you. You talk about that humility. You talk about that acknowledgement related to the children. I'm hearing out of the other end. I need to let you and Pastor Shay counsel me the next time I get married. So maybe I'll know how to put 20.
No, she did.
Yes, I did. Is that how important is that acknowledgement? Because I'm hearing you and I'm like, man, if more people would have that attitude in relationships.
Oh, all day. 1,000%. I teach a concept called the love bank.
The love what now?
The love bank.
Love bank. Okay.
So a deal of what happens is you can make a withdrawal from your bank as long as you've been making regular deposits.
Right.
If you've been a customer for a long time, your bank will allow you to overdraft your account for a few times for a short amount of time. So what happens is, in every relationship, you're a blessing and a burden. You're a blessing and a burden in every relationship. The goal is to make more deposits, blessings, than you do withdrawals, burdens. And so what happens is, I've got to understand that I can't expect more of the people I'm in the relationship with than I've put in them. Otherwise, I'm overdrawing my account. That's when resentment comes in. You overdrew your account. I was this for you. But the challenge that comes in is, my wife and I teach this, there is what's called an exchange rate. $1 is equivalent to 116 Chinese yen. So many times we make deposits that are quantity 116 in our currency. To our spouse or mate, is only one.
True.
Think about it.
Very true. Yeah.
And so I'm doing the things that I love.
Yeah.
Thinking that you're going to know how much I love you.
Yeah.
It holds no value. So I've got to find out, what do you value, and pay you in the currency that you appreciate. And the other thing too is, when I understand the exchange rate, what is quantity 1 for me, quantity 116 for you, there are things that mean nothing to me that mean everything to you.
Yeah.
Like my wife loves stale Chico sticks. She loves they got to be stale. Stale Chico sticks. That's hood candy.
That's hood
candy.
No.
Yeah.
I eat Chico sticks. I love
She likes
Chico
them
sticks.
stale. So I'll go into neighborhoods that I know that they're stale, and I bring home a bag of stale Chico sticks. Well, for me, it's $3.
Yeah.
But for her, it's like, oh my God, you love me. You thought about me.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. But I have to understand what my spouse values and respect it.
That part.
I think that's the thing, respecting what my family, son, daughter, partners value, and don't minimize it because it doesn't mean much to me.
If you guys are just liking it right now, we got the one and only, the Rebirth, the pastor himself, Doug Taylor's in the building. Got great big things going on at the church now. They're getting ready. They're moving into their new facility, y'all. Tennis courts, gyms, classrooms, services all over the place, online on Wednesday. You got to check them out. But also they got some new stuff, some more stuff coming on. And what is that, Keisa?
We want to talk about Safe House.
Okay.
And how you're partnering with other organizations. And I'm going to volley to you just like that. That's huge.
Safe Houses is a big deal.
We're not talking about the movie, right?
No.
Okay.
It's real Safe House.
Okay.
So many people don't know, probably about 9 or 10 years ago, I was really going through a personal transition concerning pastoring. And I'm like, church is church. Sunday is going Sunday. And, we're going to sing, we're going to raise offering, people are going to get saved. And all of that is absolutely critical. But there was a sense of, there's a hunger, there's a vacuum inside me. So I'm studying, I'm praying. And I hear a statement that says, stop praying for a vision for your church and pray for a vision for your community. It changed everything. And so I stopped praying about how can we make a better church. I mean, obviously want to do that, but it's like, what are the needs? I saw our church as the literal Garden of Eden. And it was our job to do what the scripture said, expand, subdue, dominate, and so that we could impact, influence, and improve everything around us. And we could progressively grow and impact other areas. So the Garden of Eden was supposed to do. And so we really started praying about what does our community, we did a lot of research. What does our community need? What's the median income of 35215? What are the most critical forces that are working against them? And we started catering our outreach to address those issues, not just get you to come to church. Because one of our core values is Sunday is not enough. And I don't believe that heaven is supposed to be an escape from a troubled earth. Heaven is supposed to be the icing on top of a Sunday called good life. And I really believe I know you didn't ask for all this, but
we're
I
here
talk
for
for a
it.
living.
No, we're here for it.
I believe there's a concept, this concept of human dignity that says every person is created in the image of God, which means they all deserve the same rights, privileges, and benefits of every other child of God. And so if you look at even the feeding of the 5,000, Jesus didn't first ask who loves me. He saw hungry people. Didn't think about religion. Didn't think about the spiritual convictions. He said, "There's a need to these." He didn't do a call. Okay, everybody who's saved, you get tilapia. People needed help.
Yeah.
Regardless of their beliefs, they needed support, and that's when we start thinking, we want you to get saved, but before we talk about salvation, how can we serve you? And so, I never forget. So we've had members in our church and community, citizens that needed adequate housing because many of them were in homes that had landlords that didn't take care of their property, and their kids have asthma. There's mold in there, and they're suffering and can't get it. Section 8 won't let them move. And one night we had a middle of COVID. We're recording on Thursday nights, and I'm coming to church in the evening, and so I come in. There's a car in the parking lot. So I'm just thinking somebody's parking there, they, hanging out. The next day, I see the same car. Third day, same car. I'm like, hey, go knock on the window. Excuse me, ma'am, it's a lady. I'm like, are you okay? She's, I'm fine. Okay. You need anything? No, I'm good. Come back the fourth night. And she says, we find out that she is a victim of domestic violence. And she's from out of state. Her husband and his family is here. She has no support. She's an educator. She was going to get an apartment, but she had to wait another 12 days to get her paycheck so she could put a deposit on an apartment.
Wow.
We bought the first night. I said, well, hey, let me get some groceries. Nah, I don't want none. Let me put you somewhere. No. By about that sixth night, humility hit in. She was like, hey, okay. We gave her a gift card so she could get some resources. We called one of our partners and put up in a hotel for about a week and haven't heard from her since, But I was grateful that we were able to help her in the short term. But since then, I was like, what can we really do so we can provide real support? I would love to be able to say, hey, Deacon Johnson, can you meet this woman, or can you meet Deacon Johnson at 617 18th Street? There's groceries in there, there's power in there, there's fully furnished. Go in and take your family and find some hope, because I grew up in a home with domestic violence. So I know the trauma that it creates. It is absolutely tormenting. And so we committed safe houses that we will provide housing for victims of emergency housing for victims of domestic violence, long-term housing for affordable, adequate homes for long-term renters. Also, we're going to be able to provide the gift of home ownership, affordable homes for purchase. And since then, we do a lot of work in the criminal justice arena. And so we find men and women who are justice involved, released from prison, and need somewhere to live, we'll be able to serve that community.
That's
So
right.
we had a ribbon cutting for our first house yesterday.
Yay!
Fully renovated. We've got a family going to go in, looking for some affordable home, and so we're going to provide that. But through the process, an organization called Kids to Love found out about the work that we're doing in the community, providing safe houses, and they gifted our Rebirth Community Corporation, our nonprofit, 56 lots
Oh my God!
in the Birmingham area. Gifted.
Favor.
Yeah. And so we're going to start developing those lots and building out. We're going to put community gardens in there, workforce development, mental health and emotional wellness services, and housing. And it's going to be crazy.
That's
nice. Congratulations.
We got a lot to play next 3 years.
Congratulations. That is awesome.
That's the timeline that it should be finished, that these houses should be finished.
Yeah,
3 years?
we're gonna take them in phases. That's our ballpark 3 years. We're gonna phase them out roughly 5 to 7 homes at a time.
Yes.
We're going through the process now of even doing surveys, see what's buildable, what's most buildable, build out our plan. But it's gonna be the Garden of Eden. We're gonna go in that community, recalibrate things, bring some health, and keep expanding out. So
let me ask you a question. Let me interject.
I know I talked a lot.
No, because you're a man of words. No, I'm being said that while you were talking, that's what came to me. And my question was to you and is to you: Do you have a book yet?
I actually got a couple books.
How do we access the books? Have you? Have you published them?
Yes.
How do we access the books?
There's a store on our church's website, rebirthchristian.org/store.
rebirthchristian.org/store.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm gonna give this one away. This is the resource we're using right now. I got about 5 books that I've written. One is a 21-day devotional that we're doing right now. It's called The New You, and it is available absolutely free. They wanted me to sell it, but you can have it. You can download it at rebirthchristian.org/21day. The number 21 day. It is great.
I
wrote 11 years ago. I forgot about it. We started 21 days of fasting last week, and I was prompted to include this 21-day devotion in it. And I'm going back reading it, and I mean, no cap. I'm like, whoever wrote this,
pretty good.
They was praying.
I'm gonna go and download that.
Me too.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It was MOW, Man of Words and Man of War.
Oh wow.
So
I received
we
that.
as we think, because you have a very gentle nature, but it was like, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Well, when he said that, then no cap. Amen, sister, with no cap. You know what I mean? You feel me?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. That was great. No, because the producer's wrapping us up right now.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah, we way over time. But
sorry.
here's the thing, Pastor, we want to do this because it's some relationship stuff we want to get into. So we got to invite you back, or would you mind being one of the co-hosts when one of us is out to be for our show? Because
I would love it.
Because Keisa and I, because Keisa and I talked about it. I think you'd be a really great fit for either one of us who are not here. So we'd love for you to do that.
You give me the call again, schedule permitting, I'm coming, because I really appreciate both of you guys and the work that you do. And been a fan of you guys forever. So
well, we appreciate that.
A huge fan of All Shea Natural.
Yes, and so am I.
A huge supporter. Jesus, yes, she is.
And this is what.
And wait. We gotta acknowledge D9. We got our colors on over. He's got his lovely. Come on, Pastor.
Yo, to the good news.
There they go with that. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Good news.
Okay. Shout out to the news. No problems whatsoever with that. Shout out D9. Oh, sorry. I just kicked your boots. I didn't mean
That's
to.
okay. That's okay.
I'm
gonna stick my daughters on you.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, guys. I want to say thank you, Pastor, for coming on to us. Hope you guys have enjoyed this show. But before we get on the show, we want to do something different here today because we need this, and we got a pastor on the show today. So, Pastor, I'm gonna ask you to before we get out of here, I would love for you to lead us over the digital airways in a prayer for all of us.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Absolutely. Father, thank you for this opportunity you've given us to gather together. Thank you for this incredible platform and these gracious leaders that have a mission to improve the lives of people. You said there's no greater love than any person they will offer themselves to lay down their lives for their friends. Thank you for the love they have for this community, for this demographic, this city, Father. And I pray that you bless this endeavor and cause it to expand. Father, I pray for every viewer today, and you know whatever issue they have. You said that you know the words on our hearts before we even come out of our mouths. And so, God, you know what every person needs, whether it's relational, financial, spiritual, emotional. You are the great need meter. And so, God, I thank you now in this moment that as we agree together in prayer, that we see your hand in every area. You said that you'll cause all things to work together for our good. That's my prayer for every viewer, every listener, and that you be glorified in their lives. Thank you for their families, their faith, and their finances. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. And on that, y'all, we'll see you guys next week. We love you.
Love you.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.